These are 8 things that determine tire quality, and most drivers are ranking them in completely the wrong order. They're spending money based on the least important factors and ignoring the ones that actually dictate whether their tires perform when it counts. This is a ranked list. Number 8 matters least. Number 1 is the metric your life literally depends on. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to evaluate any tire you're considering, and why the number printed on the sticker is almost never the right place to start. Number 8, speed rating. The speed rating is the letter on your tire's sidewall that tells you the maximum sustained speed the tire is engineered to handle. You'll see letters like H, V, W, or Y. H-rated tires are certified to 130 miles per hour. V goes to 149, W goes to 168. Here's the thing. For most drivers on American roads, the speed rating is almost never the deciding factor between two tires. Unless you're regularly driving at triple-digit speeds for sustained periods, the difference between an H-rated and a V-rated tire isn't going to change your daily driving experience in any meaningful way. That said, you should never go below the speed rating your vehicle's manufacturer specifies. If your car came with V-rated tires from the factory, you match or exceed that rating when you replace them. Going lower affects handling and heat dissipation in ways that build up over time. Speed rating lands at number 8 because it's a floor, not a differentiator. Number 7, UTQG treadwear grade. Every tire sold in the United States carries a UTQG stamp, Uniform Tire Quality Grading. There are 3 ratings: treadwear, traction, and temperature. The treadwear number is the one people focus on most. A tire rated 500 is theoretically supposed to last twice as long as a tire rated 250. The problem is that the UTQG system is self-reported. Manufacturers test their own tires on a government-specified course and submit their own numbers. There's no independent verification. 2 tires with the same treadwear grade from different manufacturers can perform dramatically differently in the real world. The traction grade, rated AA, AB, or C, is a better data point within the UTQG system because it's based on wet braking specifically. AA-rated traction is genuinely better than A-rated, but as a total system, UTQG gives you a starting point, not a verdict. Use it to filter obvious outliers, not to make final decisions. Number 6, rolling resistance. Rolling resistance is the energy your engine has to expend just to keep the tire moving. Higher rolling resistance means your engine works harder, burns more fuel, and costs you money every single mile. Lower rolling resistance tires roll more freely, and that efficiency compounds over time. The data is real. Premium tires with optimized rolling resistance can improve fuel economy by 1 to 4% compared to standard alternatives. That doesn't sound like much until you do the math over a full set's lifespan. If your car gets 30 miles per gallon and you drive 15,000 miles per year, a 3% improvement saves roughly 15 gallons of fuel annually. Over 60,000 miles, a realistic lifespan for a good all-season tire. That's 90 gallons of the gas you didn't buy. At current prices, that's between $270 and $360 in savings sitting invisible inside the tire spec sheet. Rolling resistance ranks at number 6 because it's real money, but it's money that reveals itself slowly over years, rather than immediately. Number 5, warranty mileage. The warranty mileage on a tire is not marketing. It's the manufacturer making a written legal commitment about how long their product will last. That distinction matters. When Michelin puts an 80,000-mile warranty on their Defender 2, they're doing actuarial math behind the scenes. They know their return rate, they know their material costs, and they've calculated that they can stand behind that number without destroying their margins. Budget tires with 35,000-mile warranties aren't being modest. They're telling you exactly what they know about their own product. A set of 4 premium tires at $720 with an 80,000-mile warranty works out to roughly 0.009 per mile. A budget set at $400 with a 40,000-mile warranty works out to 0.010 per mile. The premium tires are cheaper per mile, and they outlast the budget option by decades of driving. Warranty mileage lands at number 5 because it's one of the most honest signals a manufacturer sends. But tread life alone doesn't tell you anything about how the tire actually performs under stress. Number 4, the season type. Getting the season type wrong doesn't just cost you performance, it can invalidate every other quality advantage your tires have. A summer tire on ice is genuinely dangerous regardless of brand tier. An all-season tire in extreme heat loses the compound performance that makes it grip. Season type is the category decision that frames everything else. The 3 categories are summer, all-season, and winter. Summer tires use a softer rubber compound that maximizes grip in warm conditions, but hardens and loses traction below roughly 45 degrees Fahrenheit. All-season tires are engineered to perform adequately across a wide temperature range. They're the right choice for most American drivers in most climates. Winter tires use a completely different rubber formulation that stays flexible in freezing temperatures, paired with tread patterns designed for snow and ice. If you're in a region that sees consistent snow and ice from November through March, a dedicated winter tire set is not a luxury. It's the correct engineering choice for your conditions. A Michelin Cross Climate 2 or a Bridgestone Blizzak on the right season will outperform a premium summer tire in the wrong one every single time. Season type is number 4 because it's the filter that every other decision runs through. Number 3, brand tier. Independent testing data has made one thing consistently clear over decades of evaluation. Not all rubber is equal, and the brand on the sidewall is a signal that matters. This isn't about logo recognition, it's about what happens inside a manufacturing facility when the engineers decide whether to use a single compound tread or a multi-compound design, whether to optimize the siping pattern through computer modeling, and whether to invest in the kind of R&D that Michelin, for example, spends over $700 million on annually. That investment shows up in measurable ways. Multi-compound tread designs use harder rubber on the outer shoulder for cornering stability while layering softer compounds through the center tread for wet grip. The siping, those tiny slits in the tread blocks, channels water away from the contact patch in ways that lower tier brands simply don't engineer to the same depth. Premium brands also offer road hazard warranties, satisfaction guarantees, and flat tire assistance programs. Budget brands generally don't because the math doesn't work for them at lower price points. Brand tier is number 3 because it's the single best proxy for manufacturing quality when you haven't yet seen independent test data on a specific model. Number 2, cost per mile. Most people never calculate this number, and tire shops are not rushing to help them do it. Cost per mile is the total price of the tire divided by its warranted mileage. and it's the only honest apples-to-apples comparison between tires at different price points. A budget tire at $80 with a 35,000-mile warranty costs $0.0023 per mile. A premium tire at $180 with an 80,000-mile warranty costs $0.00225 per mile. They're essentially identical in cost per mile, except the premium tire also performs measurably better in every safety category. Now factor in rolling resistance savings, the avoided cost of an early replacement when the budget tire wears out ahead of schedule, and the fuel savings over 80,000 miles. The premium tire is almost always the better financial decision when the full math is done. Cost per mile is number 2 because it reframes the entire price conversation. The sticker price is noise. The per mile number is signal. Every driver who does this math and still chooses the budget option is making that choice with full information. And that's the correct place to make it from. Number 1, wet braking distance. This is the number everything else is ultimately in service of. Wet braking distance is how far your car travels from the moment you hit the brake pedal to the moment the car stops on a wet road. It's the scenario that emergency stops actually happen in. It's the condition where the difference between tire quality is most extreme, and the numbers are significant enough that they deserve to be said plainly. Across 146 direct head-to-head comparisons between premium and budget tires, independent testing found premium tires need an average of 6.1 meters less to stop in wet conditions, roughly 1.5 car lengths. In ADAC testing of summer tires, the gap between the best and worst tire was 17 meters from 80 kilometers per hour. To put that into real-world terms, when the Continental Sport Contact 7, the top-ranked tire in that test, came to a complete stop, a bottom-ranked budget tire was still traveling at 49 kilometers per hour. That's not a difference in comfort or road noise. That is the physical difference between stopping before a collision and not stopping before a collision. Premium tires achieve this because of how they manage water under the contact patch. A quality tire can evacuate up to 8 gallons of water per second at highway speed. That's the result of engineered tread geometry, silica-enriched rubber compounds that maintain grip on wet surfaces, and siping patterns that direct water away from the contact zone rather than letting it build up underneath. Budget tires use single compound rubber with minimal silica content. They meet DOT safety minimums. But there's a documented, measurable gap between meeting the minimum and actually performing in an emergency stop on a wet highway. Wet braking distance is number 1 because it's the only metric on this list where the difference between a good tire and a bad one isn't measured in dollars or miles or percentage points. It's measured in feet. And in the moment that metric actually matters, you don't get to go back and recalculate your cost per mile. So here's the framework. Start with season type. Get that wrong and nothing else matters. Check the brand tier against independent test data, not just price. Calculate cost per mile before you compare sticker prices. And if you want one number that tells you more about a tire than any other, find the wet braking distance from an independent test, a DAC, Consumer Reports, Tire Rack. They all publish it. It is the most honest number in the spec sheet. If you want to know exactly which brands score at the top of every one of these 8 categories, we already rank them. The full tier list from D to S is linked in the description. And if there's a specific tire you're looking at right now and you want to run it through this framework, drop the model in the comments. We'll break it down. Make sure to also like and subscribe for more.